So I saw a video from Frank Vaughan today, and it was addressing apparent allegations from old white guy. And he starts off the video by saying that somebody is accusing him of being demonic and a part of the Illuminati and stuff like that. But if you watch the video of old white guy, he didn't accuse him of being a part of the Illuminati. He just commented on how his eyes go red at the beginning of his videos, and how his run times, I guess, had some numbers that are, I guess, appeared demonic type style to him. But he didn't make any real accusations. I thought that was just kind of like tongue-in-cheek joking and stuff to me. But it also seems kind of weird that Frank Vaughan would address this, considering the video only had like 250 views, and it was from 2 weeks ago. It didn't even have his name in the video. He didn't even mention Frank's name. So obviously somebody leaked it to him. Well, not leaked, but gave it to him and said, hey, check out what old white guy is saying about you. But he also made the allegation that old white guy is a part of the CPC, which is not true. You know, I follow a white guy for a long time, and I can tell you for a fact that he is not a part of the CPC. You know, me and him have disagreed on plenty of things, even in the recent past. You know, you can see that. You know, I was arguing with him about being a fucking boomer and shit. We were going back and forth. But, you know, I know he has his heart in the right place. He wants the best for Canada. He doesn't work for the CPC or anything like that. And I don't think that that is accusation that you should make, especially considering there's no evidence whatsoever. Just because he's criticizing Maxime Bernier and policies and the fact that he can't vote for anybody right now in his riding doesn't mean that he is a CPC shill or something, right? And if he said he's looked at some of his content and it's like vile and all this crap and he's really uneducated and whatnot, but is it really vile? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what exactly he's talking about. And I don't know how he got the impression that old white guy is a CPC member as well. So I think he should retract that statement, because, you know, he's got, of this video so far, 1,300 views almost. And in that video, he's saying old white guy's a part of the CPC and a stalwart. I think that's what he said. I had to look up the term in online in the dictionary. It's like, I guess, a wall, barricade, or of some sorts. So I guess he's saying that he's like, you know, he's a CPC, you know, soldier that's blocking these people. And I guess I can kind of understand maybe why you would have that perspective. You know, absolutely nothing whatsoever about it, and maybe you didn't really scan through his channel well enough. But no, he's not whatsoever. So I'm like, you know, I have to come make a video to defend him about that. And, you know, there's also another thing I wanted to address. You know, that Frank Vaughan made a comment on one of my videos the other day, and I addressed it yesterday. I didn't mention him by name or anything like that, because I didn't really want to. But, you know, if you're gonna, you know, call out old white guy for saying this, for saying what, like, oh, I can't vote for somebody in my riding, and I guess maybe you got your feelings hurt or something when he said you weren't that intelligent and whatnot. But that doesn't mean it's okay to smear him and also to lie, to say that he said you were part of the Illuminati and whatnot, right? So, you know, it's okay to have people that are skeptical of Maxime Bernier, and people that you know, look at it and are skeptical of the system entirely, because this is generally what old white guy is. You know, he's skeptical of all the politicians. He thinks it all needs to come down, pretty much like me too in general, you know. But honestly, I don't even really think that I will have a place in the PPC in the future, mainly because I'm not sure that they're going to want me specifically, right? And That's not to say that I still wouldn't really support them behind the lines and whatnot. Still wouldn't want them to get in power or have more support and whatnot, because I do support them. But somebody with my views, and judging by the comment that Frank Vaughan left on one of my videos, it leads me to believe, and I'm thinking that he's going to be somewhat of a position of power maybe within the PPC, that, you know, somebody with my views about immigration and replacement of white people is probably not going to jive with that. And I understand that, and I understood that before I even started supporting the party and all that. So I wouldn't really feel too mad, per se, from being rejected or whatever. I'd be like, you know, I get it. I understand, whatnot. But, you know, judging from the comment that I got, and on this video I made a little while ago, was about the Yellow Vest movement. You can check it out too. But I was talking about, you know, white replacement and Canadians being replaced in Canada, and he's like, everybody who talks about replacement and doesn't have any kids, yet can have kids, shouldn't be talking about it. Get busy and start making babies. That is the only way to avoid it. Now, he goes on, he makes another comment, because I responded to this, and I made a video about this, responding to all of this, so you can kind of check it out. I'm not saying anything. If your concern is replacement, it will happen primarily because people have stopped having kids. You know, he's completely wrong about this, by the way, but it's very simple. If you aren't having kids, you are the reason you are being replaced, far more than any policy. Not when we're bringing in 300, 400,000 people, even not when we're bringing in 250,000 people. And he goes on, I agree that we need lower immigration numbers overall, and that we need to better select our immigrants. It's far more than 250,000 now, rising to 400,000 under Trudeau's plan, not including some types of immigrants. So he kind of deflects, because I brought up in my other comment saying that even with 250,000 people were going to be replaced, and he brings up, well, Trudeau has, you know, 400,000 and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I know that, but I'm just letting you know that even with 250,000, we're going to be replaced. Not including some types of immigrants, but and also the part where he says we need to better select our immigrants. See, you know, this is also a problem, because what does better select our immigrants mean? And just because we're getting high-skilled immigrants, does that mean it's okay for them to replace us? Essentially, you know, like, or does he mean better select by selecting more European immigrants? Because then if that's what he means, then I agree with him. However, if none of the people with ethnocentric concerns are willing to stop being selfish and start having kids, what are you all whining about it for? You can't just complain about policy. Replacement, as you put it, is inevitable if you aren't willing to reproduce. So I thought it was funny. He's like, you know, apparently I'm being selfish because I haven't had kids. Well, this guy, I don't know how old you are, man, but you said I think you're mid-30s, late 30s or something, and you only have one kid. So, so you were selfish until just recently or something, and not wanting to be a minority in your own country is selfish. You know, I think this type of language is very dismissive, and is telling me that I'm not going to have a place with the PPC, because this is the type of language that I'm going to get. And really it comes down to cowardice, because people, they don't want to address the real problems. And yeah, you know, I'm all for libertarianism and all that stuff. Of course I am. But is it really going to matter when we get replaced with a bunch of other people? And me having one or two children, you having your one child at your age, is not going to stop the replacement. You need to have at least 3 children to stop the replacement. So see, you still need to have at least 2 more. Like, it's like 2.1 or something, but you're not going to have 2.1 kids. You need to have at least 3, okay? So you need to have at least 2 more kids before you can tell me to stop being selfish, because you're not contributing to the replacement rate either with only having one child, because there's a man and a woman, so you need to at least have two, you know, to replace these two. You can't complain about policy replacement, as you put it, is inevitable if you aren't willing to reproduce. So, you know, all the blame is on me and the young people for not reproducing. It's all us, right? It has nothing to do with the immigration policies. It has nothing to do with anything else. Everything that I addressed in my video that I said, just have more white babies. You can watch that. I'll put it in the description below. But, you know, I don't like that answer whatsoever. And like I said before, old white guy is not a CPC member. That's bullshit. Maybe I'm not going to say, okay, he's lying, but, you know, you are mistaken. Okay, you are mistaken about that. And it's not good to push away people that have views like mine. And the whole truck convoy thing, I think I saw Faith Goldie address it in one of her videos. She said that even Maxime Bernier didn't address immigration. All they were talking about was pipelines and you know, equalization payments, and that's all good stuff, right? But it's not gonna matter when you're replaced with a bunch of fucking Chinese people, Asian people, and all that stuff. You're not gonna care anymore about all of these things, and you're not going to get these things anyways with a population of majority other races. As we see, look at the Libertarian Party and all this stuff. It's all white dudes. It's all white people that want these same values. It's all white guys that support Maxime Bernier. And you're going to be like, oh, I saw this Arab guy and I saw this black guy there and I saw a woman. They're the minority, okay? And they're always going to be the minority when it comes to these types of policies. And the sooner people start to accept that, the better. But that's all I pretty much had to say. Like I said, check out my other couple videos I made recently talking about the yellow vest, and also my response to the Frank Vaughan's comments in my yellow vest video, the just have more white babies, right? Because I think I addressed, you know, that more thoroughly in that video. And like I said, I don't think it's fair to just say like, oh, it's gonna be your fault because you're not having enough kids that we're gonna be replaced. Like, that's pretty fucked up to say. You know, look at the immigration. It started under Pierre fucking Trudeau in the 1978, which they changed all this immigration and where we started getting replaced. So this has been going on for a long time. And, you know, you telling me this also is kind of saying that you want socialism or something, because that is the argument. It's not a problem that we're having less kids. That's not an issue. The issue is the government using the excuse we need to pay for pensions and all this stuff, all this socialism that is going on right now. So if we didn't have this socialism, they would have no excuse for importing a bunch of immigrants. But like I said, there's a bunch of people that are kind of too scared to talk about the immigration because they don't want to alienate people of certain ethnic groups. But guess what? You're never going to attract these types of people to these types of policies to begin with. So you're wasting your breath, you're wasting your time not talking about stuff like immigration and you know, tippy-toeing around the issue as not to offend people, because you're already going to be labeled as far right, all right, white supremacist, which that party is already labeled as already. So you may as well accept all these different opinions and not try to like, oh, you may as well not even talk about it if you don't have kids and blah, 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 because you're really the problem. It's like, that's insane, man, to say like, I'm the problem. No, man, this problem has been going on for a long, long time, and we're not going to outbreed a bunch of these people. We're not going to outbreed Muslims that have 5, 6, 7, 8 fucking kids. We're not going to do that. Good luck. And like I said, it's not a problem to have a smaller population. Japan is doing it. Why can't we follow their lead? But no, they're a bunch of racists and whatnot. But that's all I pretty much had to say. I don't really want there to be drama or fighting between per se YouTubers, because at the end of the day, what do we generally do want, what, more of the same thing, small government, all this stuff, and we don't want our culture to be changed. Just some people are not willing to come out outright and say it per se, but we all don't want that either. None of us want to wake up and Sharia law or anything like that. But you know, it's also not good to necessarily be fighting amongst each other and making accusations. You know, I think old white guy was joking when he was talking about the whole red eyes and the number things, and maybe he was a little bit harsh, you know, with making fun of, you know, the way you speak and stuff like that. I can understand taking offense to that, but like I said, I've had arguments with him in the past and whatnot, and you know, we've gotten over it. He's a good guy. He's not a CPC shill, and you know, that's not true. But like I said, that's all I had to say. If you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See ya.